Hi, my name's Greville Pabst from WBP Property Group. Well, 2014 is upon us. At this time of year I'm always asked, what are your predictions for the property market? The drivers in 2014 are record low interest rates, which is likely to continue at least for the first 2 quarters of 2014. The strong population growth, which continues to underpin the demand for property. Of course, the demand and supply issue, which will vary in all of the capital cities, but is a key driver for our markets. And importantly, property is all about confidence, and certainly consumer confidence has improved in late 2013, which will continue and flow into 2014. And the last remaining driver is overseas investment. And with a lower Australian dollar, we're going to see more foreign investment in Australia in 2014. Some preliminary data that's just been released for January has shown that whilst it's early days, Melbourne in January median house prices grown by some 3%. My growth performance for Melbourne in 2014, the established house market within 10 kilometres of the CBD, under $2 million, I'm predicting positive 4 to positive 6% growth in 2014. The established unit and apartment market, a similar growth profile there, plus 4 to plus 6%. Sydney, like Melbourne, was a very fast growing dynamic property market in 2013. That city grew by some 11% last year. So that activity is expected to continue into 2014. It really is a demand and supply situation in Sydney. Sydney's been a bit of a sleeping giant in our property market, but it's certainly awoken, and I expect quite strong growth in Sydney during particularly the first quarter of 2014. For Sydney, established houses within 10 kilometres of the CBD, under $2 million, we're predicting 0 to 5% growth this year. And for the established units, apartments, also 0 to plus 5% growth. Adelaide, I think Adelaide will just continue to show nominal growth. I don't expect really big things from Adelaide. I also don't expect that market to deteriorate. It'll be a fairly flat growth. For Adelaide, established houses within 10 kilometres from the CBD, under $1 million, I'm predicting 0 to plus 4%. And for established units and apartments, negative 2 to positive 2%. The Perth market, Perth has certainly been a very strong performer during the last few years, but as the resources boom starts to slow down, expect some certainly a bit more of a subdued market in Perth. We're not going to see the same levels of growth that we've seen in past years. Now for the Perth market, established houses within 10 kilometres of the CBD, under $2 million, plus 2 to plus 7% growth. For the established units and apartments, 0 to positive 5% growth. The Queensland market, particularly Brisbane, I think is very good prospects for Brisbane. It has been quite subdued over the last few years, and I think that there's some great opportunities to look to Brisbane for investment property, particularly when you compare the growth and the affordability in comparison to Sydney and Melbourne. Brisbane does show some good opportunity for savvy, astute investment buyers. And for Brisbane, established houses within 10 kilometres of the CBD, under $2 million, 0 to positive 5% annual growth. And for established units and apartments, also 0 to 5% annual growth. So there you have it. They're my predictions for the Australian capital cities in 2014. If you're a home buyer or an investor, I just want to leave you with one tip, and that is never speculate when you're buying property. Base your decision on facts. Sure, look at the suburb that you're going to invest or buy in, but it's more than just the suburb or its median house price. I mean, drill down to the particular street in that suburb and what's affecting that property within that street. Then have a look at the property itself. Have a look at the property's performance, its past performance, because past performance is a good indicator of how a property is going to perform into the future. If it hasn't performed in the past, it's not suddenly going to start to perform just because you own it. If in doubt, seek independent advice from a property professional. Thanks for listening, and good luck with your property investing in 2014.